What's good, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing? A game I've been wanting to talk about for quite a while now is a game known as Star Wars Outlaws. Now, this game was announced a while back. The trailer came out as well as a short little 10-minute demo or so. And if I must be honest, it looks pretty cool. I mean, whenever we start talking about an open world action adventure RPG set in the Star Wars universe, you're gonna get my attention. Now, what makes this Star Wars game a little more unique than the games of recent time is that this game is not made by EA. That is correct. EA does not have sole control over the Star Wars games anymore. But this game is actually made by Ubisoft. Is that any better? Well, here's the good news. At least EA doesn't have a stranglehold on every last title, Star Wars title and game that ever comes out. But Ubisoft, I don't know if that's going to be much better. I still have my concerns with Ubisoft having control of a Star Wars title. Now, I am excited and I'm going to give them a chance, obviously, because this is their first game. I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. I'm not gonna roast them right off the rip, because this is a good thing. It is a good direction to go in, that multiple studios have the ability to make Star Wars games. Of course, I would love something like Obsidian, or even CD Projekt Red, if they had some control over the Star Wars license. Oh my goodness. The games we would get then would be pretty insane. But we're not here to talk about fantasies and lost dreams or all the other titles that were lost to the ether when Disney bought Star Wars and the little projects and games that small companies were working on in relation to Star Wars games. But we won't get into that. Point is, I have my concerns with Ubisoft, but I do believe it is a good direction for multiple studios to have the ability to make Star Wars games, because eventually we will get a banger. Now, if we look at the trailer, it does look fun. It looks interesting. In the little gameplay demo, you're able to see your main character kind of explore this little world. A little intro and the opening scenes of the game, right before we get into the main storyline. Before the title screen pops up. Now, I am pretty open-minded and quite excited because it is a place and a genre, I suppose, a little subgenre that we haven't really looked too deeply into in a lot of Star Wars content, which is gonna be the syndicates. I'm talking about the Hutt clan, the Pikes, people in groups like that. And I think that it does make for an interesting thing to cover. It's gonna take place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Interesting time in the middle and the midst of the main battle, the main war. So, they keep saying that creates the perfect opportunity for the syndicates to thrive. And I suppose it's true. In the midst of war, a lot of money to be made. Now, I believe that it will be a fun and interesting concept for them to explore. Apparently, it's going to be open world. And I mean, you don't have to say much after that to get me on board and pretty excited and on board that hype train, you know what I'm saying? Open world Star Wars story RPG where I'm able to explore and do what I want? That sounds like a big fun time. But obviously, I do not want to get ahead of myself. Every trailer is gonna do its job right to get you excited and to get you hyped. We all know Activision, we all know Ubisoft, we all know these big companies are masters of making good trailers. They are masters at making hype and exciting announcements to get you excited and to get you looking forward to their next project. But time and time again, we've seen that a lot of their games come out and it's an absolute flop, or sometimes they straight up just lie. That is obviously what I'm worried about. I want a fun Star Wars game where I'm truly able to explore and make an impact in the story and in the world that I'm currently immersed in. I hope that there will be those deep RPG elements with dialogue, story choices, your choices actually having consequences and affecting the story and the world around you. I think that would be awesome. I don't know how deep they're going to go into that, or into the RPG elements, into the story, and into the open world elements, because they do say open world. I don't know how big the world will be, but if you're able to go to multiple planets and have a good time and just mess around on Coruscant or Tatooine, I would love that. And speaking of that, the locations, apparently Tatooine has been confirmed, as well as a couple of made-up new planets that they are creating. And I believe I saw some Coruscant art, so you know I want to go to Coruscant. So ladies and gentlemen, like I'm saying, I am cautiously optimistic. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I would love nothing more than for Ubisoft to release a fire Star Wars title. And let's just look at it this way. If Ubisoft creates a good game here, if they really hit it out of the park, that'll show Disney very clearly that it is a good thing to have multiple studios have control of the Star Wars license. And it'll show just how much of a bad thing it was that EA had that sole control for so long. EA messed up time and time again, and I'm sad because I loved Star Wars Battlefront, the OGs. And Star Wars Battlefront, the new ones from EA, had great potential. But we all know the gosh dang greedy, disgusting scandals that happened with Star Wars Battlefront 2 by EA. So hopefully, this is the beginning of that new era where multiple studios will be able to get their hands on the Star Wars title, and hopefully we get some new games here. Star Wars has a plethora. It is a gold mine of ideas, games, films, all this. But so many times, it's just not tapped into. We go back to the same thing, or we have a disgusting mess. A disgusting mess. Like the sequels. I don't even want to say it, episode 7, 8, 9. We're not going to talk about that today. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I am cautiously optimistic. I want this game to be good. The little bit of a demo we got looked okay, and it looked like it could be greatly expanded upon. Like I said earlier, if you give me a great open world action RPG, you know, that story-focused RPG in the Star Wars universe, you got me. You got me. Just don't let the game be absolutely broken on launch, and have some heart and passion behind it, y'all. I'm willing to look past some bugs and glitches if the game is actually good. If I could see that there was some heart and soul put into this. The Star Wars IP, in a sad way, has been one of the most exploited and abused titles in all of media and all of entertainment. Because every company, everyone knows that Star Wars is big. Everyone knows that people love Star Wars. So many, unfortunately, so many greedy little dumb companies get their hands on it, and they just make a garbage product because they know that Star Wars name will sell those games or sell those films. And it's unfortunate. So ladies and gentlemen, let's hope for an actual good Star Wars open world RPG here. A good story, good characters. Let's get something, y'all. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so very much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you have not subscribed, please do consider subscribing, as well as following me on Twitch. All those links are going to be down in the description below. I appreciate y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again. And until next time, I'll see you.